want to bring this video to you guys because I just want to share my fitness journey with you guys, give you a little bit of a background about how far I've come, how fitness has helped me, and I just really want this to be relatable. I hope that this motivates you guys because I feel like a lot of people just look at these IG people and they look at these fit YouTube people and they're just like, oh my god, they have the perfect life and they had it easy and that's why they had time to go to the gym and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, that's not the story half the time, and for me that was definitely not the story. So I just want to share my journey with you guys and how far I've come and how much fitness has really helped me become a better person, and has just saved my life basically. So here's my testimony, guys. Anyways, I was brought up in a very abusive home, you know, just all around abusive. My parents were young when they got together. They did not know how to be parents. So I also came from a background of somebody who never had supportive parents. I never knew what it was to have supportive parents until I seen my friends who had supportive parents, and then I knew what I was missing. All throughout, you know, my young teenage years, I was very troubled. I was a raging alcoholic. I was the girl that you see at parties that's like emotional, just like crying, a mess. I would try and fight people. Like, I was very lost. I was very negative, and it was because of my upbringing, and I had no kind of guidance, none at all. I thank God today that I am just somebody that is very mentally strong, and I down the road acknowledged this about myself. I didn't want to be that person anymore. I ended up getting into a relationship that was very unhealthy, very abusive, not physically abusive, but like verbally abusive, and that was my breaking point that broke me down even more as a person, because not only did I come from a background that was I picked up a lot of abusive habits that I brought into my relationship. I was a very negative, sad, dark person. I was a raging alcoholic, like I said, and you're bringing that type of person into a relationship. So that was just bound for disaster. This person was young, they didn't really know how to be in a relationship, and so you put two and two together and it was just not a good relationship. I was the most insecure person. I was depressed even beyond more than I already was, and I was in a very, very darker place than I already was. I knew that that wasn't the person I wanted to be, and I always had something in the back of my mind telling me that you are not this person, you cannot live like this, whatever that may be. Was it God? Was it my subconscious speaking to me? Whatever, something was speaking to me. How I got into lifting, I started lifting, but I was so in and out of the gym because I was still stuck to my partying ways, and I would like drink, and then I would go into the gym the next day and I would just be hungover. My workouts were a piece of shit, like, because I was just still stuck in my drinking ways and I didn't want to give that part of my life up. After a year into lifting, lifting was the only positive thing for me at that moment. And during that year of lifting was one of the worst years of my life. Not only was I just a very broken person because of my upbringing, but I was very sad and depressed because I looked for all my happiness in my relationship. Yes, I didn't know how to be happy on my own with myself. I was insecure. This person who I was with at the time just didn't really know how to be in a relationship or deal with the very destructive, depressed, sad person that I was. So it was just draining on both ends, and then there was lifting. This person actually did bring lifting into my life a lot, and I'll always have him to thank for that. That was one of the positive things that I did bring out of that relationship with me, along with I learned a shit ton about myself. It really brought to my attention also the things that I needed to work on myself about, because I didn't have a parent to tell me, you know, you're like this, you need to change this. I had to realize it all on my own, and I do have that relationship to thank for that. And I feel like a lot of people go through relationships like that, like really just unhealthy relationships. But looking at the positive side of things is you learn a lot about yourself. I learned a lot about myself as far as what did I need to work on for myself, because I had nobody there to tell me what I needed to work on about myself. And like I was saying, you know, I was in and out of the gym for a year because I was still stuck in my drinking and partying, and so I would go into the gym hungover, and just none of my workouts were efficient. I wasn't making any strength gains. I was not putting on any muscle. I look back at old pictures when I was lifting, and I literally looked like a stick. Like, it was just like awful. Like, I wasn't eating enough. I was just like drinking and eating like shit. I probably would, on a daily intake, have maybe 40, 50 grams of protein, which is horrible. And so after a year about doing that, I got out of that relationship because I just woke up one day and I was like, you know, I need to work on myself. I need to change. I want to change. What do I have going for me? What do I have to offer? I don't want to be this miserable, depressed alcoholic. I know that I'm better. My calling, I know that I'm better. I want better for my life. And there was lifting. And I had been doing it for a year, you know, on and off, like I said. And I felt my happiest when I was lifting. Even though my workouts were shit, it was just very positive mentally and physically. And that's another thing that I tell people. Lifting is a very, very positive thing. It can't not be a positive thing. Like, you go into the gym, you do good, you feel good, you look good. You know, even though at the time my just results and progression wasn't as great, I just found myself happiest when I was at the gym. Why am I not pursuing this more? I'm happiest when I'm in the gym. That moment, the first time when I really, really actually felt worthy of something. And I said, I have all this potential to, you know, to bodybuild, to power lift. Why am I not? What am I doing? Going on the weekends and drinking and continuing as the miserable, depressed person that I am? Like, what the fuck am I doing? I picked a show and I competed, and it was the best decision, one of them, that I ever could have made for my life. The first being actually pursuing lifting and, you know, really just taking advantage of my potential in it. And, you know, with prep, it was like I couldn't miss a day in the gym. I couldn't miss cardio. I couldn't miss meal prepping. If I wanted to be the best, I had to be the best at what I was doing at the time. And it made me literally mentally a stronger person. And it took me away from drinking, and it took me away from thinking negatively, because when you're prepping and when you're doing your shit, like that's your focus, and you can't be negative, or you probably wouldn't finish through with prep. And so it just made me a more mentally strong person, to think more positively. I slowly but surely had time to work on myself because I wasn't drinking anymore, and I wasn't partying anymore, and I was prepping, and it was just healthy, and I was doing something good for myself, and I felt worthy, and I just felt like I was doing something, and I felt like I had a purpose, and I felt so just where I should be. I wasn't waking up hungover and more depressed because I was already in a dark place, and alcohol is a depressant. I ended up, you know, doing extremely well in my first show. I qualified for nationals. I went and competed in my second show, and then a year after that, I competed in my first powerlifting meet, and I did really well in that. I actually qualified for nationals in that, my very first meet, which I will be competing in this coming up July 2016 and November. It wasn't just lifting. It was, I didn't want to be a depressed person. I didn't want to be sad, and I was mentally just like so, I had battles just from my past, and then my unhealthy relationship, and all in all, like, fitness just took me out of that. It made me a stronger person mentally and physically, and I felt worthy, and that right there, I just knew, I'm like, I'm worth so much. Like, why would I ever sit and be depressed and sit and blame my problems and all that stuff on my past, when I know that I am mentally strong to do a prep, and I'm mentally strong to be disciplined and stick to the gym and stick to my diet. Why am I not doing that mentally with the problems that I was battling with? And you know, from then on, I researched insecurity and I researched depression, and I did and practiced better habits, and you know, I still deal with negativity even to this day. What I mean by the easy route is choosing to just sulk in your bad upbringing, or choosing to stay sad or stay insecure and stay envious and stay jealous and stay negative. Like, you can choose to be a negative person, you can choose to be a happy person. You can come from the best upbringing, you can come from the worst upbringing. Life is a choice, and life is what you make it. And I just really wanted to share, I'm going to say, my testimony with you guys, because I want to be an example of, you can make your life whatever you want it to be. You know, my statistics were, I should have been a continued alcoholic. I should have gotten pregnant at a young age and had a baby already. But I'm choosing better for my life because I know my worth, and fitness, you know, tying that back into this whole just story of my life and how far I've come, has helped me learn how to be disciplined mentally. You know, not just being fit, not just being in shape and looking good, quote unquote. It's taught me to be a mentally stronger person, and it's taught me my worth, and it's taught me that being better and getting better is a process. Just do better for yourself. And so yeah, guys, that's my story, and I hope that it was an eye-opener for some of you, and I hope that I can help somebody change their life and choose to want better for yourself, because life is short and life is precious, and everybody is, you know, worthy. Everybody should be valued. Everybody should be loved. And I just want to be an example of somebody who has come back from a horrific upbringing, and I chose to be happy, and I chose to live a life that was fulfilling and not negative. And fitness helped me. Fitness really, really did save my life. And I don't know, I really hope that this touched some of you. I hope that this can make you guys want better for your life. And I hope that this helps you guys, you know, just know my background and not know my selfies on Instagram and my crusty Snapchats and my random videos that I upload on YouTube. So I love you guys, obviously. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, that's my story, guys. So one more for your life, because you are worth it. Maybe fitness can help you find your path out of the dark hole that you're in right now, because it definitely did for me, and it made me who I am today, and I'm becoming a better person and hoping to be a better person. So I love you guys.